Now I know I'm a little bit late to this one, but today we have Anna's unlock event in Duel Links, and we're getting a brand new UR card with her, just for farming, which is Night Express Knight, which is really important for that deck going forward. A free normal summon, you can then combo with some cards from the box to make you big rank 10s. This is a card you want to farm 3 of, get a prismatic, it'll look really nice. But let's go on to the main kind of attraction, which is Anna in Duel Links. Her brand new cards, her brand new skills, and probably the biggest controversy of the year, of the last year or two of characters in Duel Links. She might suck the most, which is really, really disheartening, disappointing, and hopefully doesn't, isn't indicative of Konami's thinking going forward for characters, because if so, then we're in for a bit of a rough spot for Duel Links. So let's dive first of all into the skills first. We'll do skills first of all, and then go to rewards, because that's where things get kind of annoying. But let's start with our brand new unlock skill, Out of Control. At the start of the duel, add 1 Rocket Arrow Express, Snowplow House of Russell, Night Express Knight, and Gustav Max to your deck, which is fine. Now, I'm not usually a fan of these skills that give you multiple cards in your starting deck, because you are just making that deck even bigger, which means it's harder to actually play the deck, which is a huge downside for not buying into the box and getting the cards, even though for playing this deck you really do need to go into the box to get the cards to build it. So this one, more so than anything, doesn't really make much sense, but these 2 cards are exclusive for now. They aren't in the main box, they're not in the event, they're not in level ups, they're brand new, exclusive, which is kind of, justifying their existence. They're not all that good. Now this one is kind of like your Kiteroid for the deck. I don't think it would see play in the main OTK build, even if it did kind of exist right now, but I think it's kind of primed to be an event reward for next time we go around, or like a mini box SR or something. I think that's kind of where it fits. And of course, the other effect of this skill is that if there's 2 machines in your graveyard, you can replace your draw with a special schedule, which is, fine. Overall, not a terrible skill, but given we've got Yuma, who can have a skill just to add the Utopia to the deck, why can't we get one that just adds Gustav Max? Because having 4 Night Express Knights without any other cards from the box doesn't really work out, given this card by itself, another copy, is just a brick. Then, we of course have Devotion. Yeah, we're getting a brand new tactile skill that skips your draw to give your partner's draw a +2, which isn't very good, right? For no one in tactiles is using the tactile skills anyway. They're not very good, but this one might be the best one if, and only if, your AI's deck is completely bonkers. Usually, you'll run the one that could just spam beat down as quickly as possible, or have a good back row. So this might be okay, but in general, you're auto-dueling, and this isn't going to matter, so it doesn't really matter at all. We do have Heavy Starter, which is really good for the raid duel, if we ever get Dark Dimensions raid duels again, which would be pretty cool. Attack Charge is whatever. Level Log Duplication is also fine to have on a Zexal character. I think our first one, maybe? No, it's not our first, it is our second, it is our third, yeah, our 4th, whatever. But let's go to some brand new skills with Engine Power Over Limit. If I can click on it, select 1 rank 10 Earth Machine on your field, and attach 1 level 10 Earth Machine type monster in your hand as material to this card. It gains Piercing, by Sense Graveyard at the end of the turn, which I think is fine, but not for what we have right now. I think this is mainly going to be used with the 6k attack Juggernaut Leap. I think that's what it is. When that does come out, that could be really good. Or with Superdora, give an extra negate. That would be really, obviously for your turn, but I think this one has potential going to the future, but right now it's just not worth doing unless you do really need to do the burn damage. But I think overall, the main consistency skill is going to be the one you're going to be using. Then, we have Overnight Express, which at the end of the turn uses skill, gives you a level 10 Earth Machine to your hand from your deck. But, you skip your next 2 draw phases, and it's once per turn, and you must have 3 level 10s Earth Machines in your deck or more. This is pretty terrible, because most of the time with skills, you want to be using it on that turn, getting value on that turn, and so this doesn't really help out, right? If you already have a hand of 1 machine, then chances are you're going to draw to a machine anyway. If you're running a rank 10 train deck, you're running literally 1 rank 4 and the rest are rank 10s, so far in Duel Links at least. So right now, this doesn't really make too much sense to me personally, but it might be okay. Then, Sunrise Express. This one actually might be kind of alright, because it's a draw sense for trains, but it's not once per duel. It's every 1000, but it is only level 10 Earth machines, which is fine, right? If you want to see your Night Express Knight or your Dara Crane, then this is fine. It's random, it's not the worst skill in the world, and of course the whole restriction on it is plenty fine. You can be running more than 3 anyway, so this can be used outside of the trains, but I don't know what rank 10 or level 10 Earth machines we have in Duel Links or even in the TCG that could make this absolutely broken. Then we have Super Express, which is kind of the same, but it replaces your normal draw with an Earth machine, and it's in your hand, but you just summon it out to the field, negate the effects, and then go right to the battle phase. This is kind of cool. It's not going to be game-breaking, and it's not the best skill to use for Ana for trains, but just being able to summon out onto the field when you really need it, a free, technically free, 3000 beta or more. Like, if they gave you, where we go, if we go back to the Alcatraz, right? If they gave you this, and you could just summon this for free, and attack with 5k to the face, then that's pretty good. Also, it does mean your opponent can't respond to the summon of it. And if you're going straight to the battle phase, then you're missing out on the the bomblesses and whatnot, right? All the stuff in the main phase just doesn't work. So this could be really good, but right now there's not much of a reason for it. But I think in the future, when we get some better cards, this will actually might see some meme play. But I think overall the main skill will be not Train Connection. This one I really don't like. You pitch 2 level 10 Earth machines in your hand, and then add a Train Connection from outside your deck. There's a pretty harsh restriction of only being used with level 10 trains specifically, so in that sense, it's just dead. You want that rank 4, you at least want to be able to use rank 4s in your deck, right? And so only limiting you to level 10s is kind of terrible. It does double the monster's attack, and make it do piercing, you know, Unga Bunga, very big beat stick, but that's not going to be enough for Duel Links, and not enough for seeing some success on the ladder. Finally, a skill we get at level 20, so you don't farm, you just need to actually just grind Ana quite a bit, is Unstoppable Train. This is your main consistency skill. It's really good because you don't have to tribute monsters for a normal summon this turn. It's twice per duel. The restrictions don't matter because you're going to be running that, you're going to be running those ratios anyway, so it doesn't matter. You could open Night Express Knight, and you could just summon this for free with 3k attack, rather than being a brick in your hand and wanting to save it because it'll only have 0 attack when you summon it. So, in that regard, it's really quite good for the deck. And so, this will be the skill you will play 100%. You'll see this one on ladder. It is the best skill for the deck. But now, let's go to finally the brand new cards with, first of all, Monster Express, which is a card that dumps a monster in your extra deck with the same type as a monster on your field. But you can't special summon this turn, except monsters of the same type as the one you sent. Now, I don't see why this is good right now. Yes, there are some very, very good cards in the game that like being, or extra cards, that like being sent to the graveyard, that aren't in Duel Links, right? Entis, for one, is a really good example. But this doesn't help that. You know? I think there is a scenario in the future where this does get better, but for the moment, you can't really assess its potential because there's nothing in the game that really likes being dumped to the graveyard that's a machine, that's an extract card. Yeah, for the moment it's just kind of dead on the water. Then we'll skip the bit you're thinking I'm gonna be pissed at. Unsinkable Titanica. This is like the other event card, a World Duel Carnival, the 3S game card, and it is equally as pretty terrible. You can summon it by tributing 2 tokens, which when you're getting tokens in Duel Links, not really ever, and once per turn you can block monsters with 0 defense on the field, and inflict core damage to your opponent. When is this happening? Literally never. So we're getting 3 copies of that, 3 copies of this, and finally, at the very end of the rewards, we're getting a single copy of another video game card. We're getting Southern Stars. Target monster on the field, it becomes level 10. You know, if you really need to make a rank 10, then I guess it's an option. but it's a bad one. It's a dead card by itself in the hand, so I really don't like it, but maybe they're thinking that this might be a one-off because they're only giving us one copy of the card. Maybe they think that's fine. But the real piss take is here. The SR UR tickets, we all kind of hate them, right? Whenever they come around, people are kind of annoyed at them. They're good for new players because you're going to be getting some easier access to somewhat okay farm cards. You know, not having to farm cards is always great. But as a new player, you get so many tickets thrown at you when you start the game and via early campaigns and events that these shouldn't matter. These shouldn't matter at all. The real piss take is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 of these fuckers in the level up pool for Anna. Usually, we see 1 and the community gets kind of fucking annoyed at just 1, because that's taken up a slot, and usually we can kind of go, okay, fine, it's 1 reward card we're not getting. But this time, it's 6 cards we're not getting, because that's all they're doing. If you go back to Quattro, or to Trey, and you go through, it's literally taken up every single slot. That will be a brand new card. And so Anna becomes the second character to not give us a brand new Xyz with level ups, and also the first character to have a stupidly low amount of cards and 6 tickets that make no difference to the new player experience in her rewards. Because all of this can be farmed at the gate, which if Konami are trying to take away reasons for you to farm at the gate, then give us something to replace farming at the gate with all our keys. Because that's literally what you're doing with this. And so over time, everything you're giving us from events doesn't really matter if the end goal is just to give us tickets that can give us all the cards anyway. Especially when none of the new cards that come out actually end up being, you know, impactful. Whereas before, back in the day, they actually would be, right? Look. Relinquished was really, really good. Necrophir, really good. Lava Golem, really, really good. Barrow Dragon, really good. This card is also pretty good, not as good right now, but that's good. Stego Cyber is really, really good. Dragon Dark, really, really good. The list goes on and on as we go down further. But we don't get that anymore. Like, I woke up, saw this morning, and I was pissed off at this. I cannot fucking believe it. Because you see the outrage people have when there's just 1, and now it's 6 times, and yes, the cards they would have given us anyway probably would have been absolutely dog shit. But they would have been new cards, they would have been unique. They wouldn't have been these tickets that basically are worthless. Now, what if these were skill tickets instead? Then, you know, if we got a free skill ticket for Anna, then I think that would be a little bit better. So far, this month was looking really good, right? The box, really good. The upcoming updates were a lot better than people were kind of expecting, right? And then Anna comes along, reward card wise for her event, seemed pretty good so far. Skill wise, she has a really good skill for this. And then you go through rewards and then you think, why the hell can't she be treated like Kite? Or like Antinomy? But that is my off the cuff kind of ramble, I guess, on Anna. It's just disappointing that you sour a character event with 6 fucking tickets. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong here, but it's not fun to work towards a ticket that is realistically useless because you have like 10,000 everything because they're just so easy to farm anyway. So yeah, bit rambly, I know, but what are you gonna do? It is early. I'm gonna edit this now. I'll see you all in the next Duel Links, Master Duel video. Yeah, sure. Thanks for watching.